Good afternoon, everyone. I'm really very honored to be here, not just as a speaker, but as a witness to a shift already underway, a move from traditional work habits to more inclusive collaborations practices to enable bolder innovation. As we step into what we call Leadership 5.0, guided by 5 revolutionary drivers: education, innovation, civil society, AI+Tech, and art, we are embracing a new paradigm, one that integrates sustainability, humanity, and innovation. Today, I want to explore with you one of the most profound shifts within this transformation: the move from leadership to teamship. In the mainstream, many still hold on to outdated leadership models, hierarchical, top-down, isolated. But those of us on the front line of leadership evolution already see it differently. The future belongs to teams where individuals lift each other, share ownership, and pursue world-class performance together. So what powers this shift? Something ancient, essential, and timeless: our humanity, how we behave, how we interact, how we work together. The most beautiful thing about this shift is that when we change our teams, we change the world. I repeat, when we change our teams, we change the world. This is something truly transformative for each of us, for our organization, for society, and the world. Teamship means creating the kind of environment where everyone gets stronger and more courageous together. In Leadership 5.0, the leader is not the lone hero. It's not about one person driving results, giving feedback, coaching the team members, or keeping morale and energy high. In teamship, the team holds each other accountable, provides peer-to-peer feedback, and takes shared responsibility for energy, growth, and results. Everyone matters, everyone takes care, everyone rises. The theorist behind this idea of teamship is the top team coach, Keith Ferrazzi from the United States, who has worked with thousands of teams over the past 20 years. His research institute, Greenlight in the US, has monitored the dynamics and best practices of more than 3,000 teams worldwide. Teamship is not a mindset. It requires concrete practices. Why? Because practices are the most accessible way to help the team shift behavior. These practices don't need to be complicated. On the contrary, they should be simple, targeted, and easy to implement. And when repeated consistently, they can have a tremendous impact. The key enabler of teamship is what Keith Ferrazzi calls co-elevation. Co-elevation means we don't just work together, we commit to go higher together. It's a shift from individual contribution to mutual commitment. We actively support one another, challenge each other, and hold each other accountable, not out of obligation, but out of a shared purpose and trust. We need to start focusing on truly sharing with one another. Sharing taps into one's humanity, to empathize with the other, to serve each other. To do that, we need an intentional decision the decision to make the choice to take care of each other. Because once I know you care about me, you are profoundly interested in working with me and in interacting with me, I will take you and your ideas in consideration. I will respect you. I will be open even if I don't agree with you. And here is the crucial task of it as a leader. I quote here Keith Ferrazzi: to get our team to know that they have got to produce a higher degree of relational commitment among each other for all this to work. They are responsible for that. End of the quotation. Co-elevation creates a safe environment where vulnerability is strength, feedback is gift, and growth is collective. And what I've seen is powerful. When teams embrace co-elevation behaviors, they unlock not just better performance, but deeper connection, shared ownership, and transformational results. But co-elevation alone is not enough. To truly anchor this new way of working, team needs a shared agreement, a visible, living commitment to how they want to collaborate, lead, and grow together. This is what we call the social contract. A social contract is not a document. It's not a set of rules. It's a co-created agreement, an act of intentional design that defines how we show up for each other every day. It reflects our collective ambition, our shared values, and the behaviors we choose. The social contract includes key dimensions such as how we collaborate, engage, and hold each other accountable, how we treat one another, how we speak candidly and courageously in service of each other and the mission, how we navigate conflicts, and how we intentionally build strategical leaderships, how we maintain each other engagement, celebrate success, and demonstrate gratitude. The social contract is the backbone of team success. On this slide, you can see the 8 dimensions of high-performing teams and helpful question. Due to time constraints, I will not read them aloud, but you can have the slide at the end as documentation. The 8 dimensions are candor, collaboration, teaming out, accountability, development, energy, relationship, and outcomes. Teams that commit to a social contract operate with greater clarity, trust, and momentum. They are not afraid of healthy conflicts. They give and receive feedback regularly. They make psychological safety a daily experience. I have already integrated some of these practices and tools into my work with my clients. As a leadership coach, I've seen teams flourish once they move from assumptions to agreement, from politeness to authenticity, from silence to brave dialogue. In my coaching work, I've seen how transformational this is. When a team sits down and says, "This is how we show up for each other," something changes. Power becomes more distributed. The trust increases and innovation flows, not from the top, but from every voice in the room. Let me leave you with 3 concrete shifts you can bring in your leadership practice. From control to co-creation. Don't dictate expectation, design agreements together. Second, from perfection to presence. Dare to be real, make space for emotional honesty and vulnerability. Third, from performance to purpose. Help your team connect what they do with why it matters. because the future of leadership will not be built by strategies alone. It will be built by conscious, courageous conversation, not just directions. Maybe you might ask, Eleonora, but how do we begin? I would like to conclude with 3 practices to bring teamship and co-elevation to life, using by high-performing teams around the world who create intentional moments of connection, vulnerability, and courage. First, Yoda in the room, being Yoda. Being Yoda is a group feedback technique developed by Keith Ferrazzi, aimed at fostering courage and openness within teams. How it works: at the beginning of a meeting, explain who is Yoda and what qualities he embodies. Yoda is the famous character from Star Wars, known for his wisdom and empathy. Select 2 or 3 individuals to assume the role of Yoda. Inform the group that being Yoda means that at any time you can ask the following questions: what is not being said? What needs to be said? What risks need to be addressed? This tool can also be used in remote meetings by assigning a Yoda to each group. Each Yoda then will then lead the discussion in their breakout session and come back and report what has been shared. Second, intimacy dinner. This is just what the name suggests, and it is a cornerstone practice of leadership. Once every quarter, bring your team together for a shared meal with the purpose of deepening mutual understanding through storytelling and open sharing. Intimacy dinner are moments for a genuine peer connection and deeper insight, not just about what's happening now, but about the experiences that brought us here and the values and motivation guiding where we are headed. The format is a simple round robin. Start with 1 or 2 volunteers. These help ease others through the process, and then continue around the table. There is no interruption, no response, just deep listening. You only need 1 powerful question to guide the evening. Here are three different questions that work particularly well. What experience from your past has most shaped who you are today? Or, what are you afraid you will not be able to accomplish in your lifetime? Or, what do you want team members to understand about you that they might not know? This practice deepens trust, unlocks empathy, and creates psychological safety that fuels innovation. No agenda, no PowerPoint slides, just 1 deep question and deep listening. And it's this deeper understanding and empathy that form the basis of high trust and high performing teamship. This is a game changer. Third and last, peer celebration. The peer celebration is a monthly round-robin practice where each team member takes a moment to express appreciation for a colleague. The gratitude shared should be specific and meaningful. It's a valuable opportunity to reinforce the positive behaviors aligned with the team's new social contract and recognizing each other, not just for the results, but for behaviors, courage, empathy, active listening, or generosity. Begin with a moment of reflection around these 3 questions. Who I'm grateful for? Why am I grateful for this person? And how has this person positively impacted me or the team? After giving anyone a moment to reflect on what they are grateful for, the team leader should go first. This helps set the tone for the sharing, offering a model for the others to follow. These 3 practices don't require big investments. They require intention. and repeated over time, they don't just improve performance, they shift the culture from inside out. Our job as a leader is the facilitation of collaboration and co-creation. Leadership 5.0 is a shared commitment, a daily practice, and a belief that when we elevate one another, our organizations, family, societies, and our world rise with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Eleonora, for this wonderful and powerful message, especially on what is practice, being Yoda. This is something wonderful. And the other aspect that I love is the social contract. When you have this social contract, that is real or not, but we have the same as we are doing today. This social contract that we have to contribute, to be together, this co-creation that Violeta always invite us to cross-pollination, as she always say. And you know, when we are in the middle of our webinar and we create this ecosystem from Natasha to Valerie to you, and of course from Violeta, we agree on from hierarchy to inclusive collaboration. We are centered on ethics, because what you say, Eleonora, about trust and true transformation, it's about ethics. To listen to others is about to be an unethical organization and group, to learn from them. And when Veronica and Valerie was discussing about emotional, this is part of creating a big team, when you take care of them, no? Because we care. This is what Ecocivilisation invite us, because we care. This is when you care. So a leader that is in results driven, but action, but also through a shared responsibility. So thank you, Eleonora. It was absolutely wonderful. And you give, before I ask you if any of you have comments, you give us the clue. Yes, Natasha, I go with you immediately. You give the clue to our next presentation. And I will say later after Natasha. Natasha, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Eleonora. It was really interesting, your presentation, and important. I like this idea of teamship and social contract idea. I had opportunity that through artistic expressions be a part of something like teamship. Of course, these creations and this social contract was most created out of necessity than to be voluntarily this decision, as you were presented. But still, I think we are going back to the personal responsibility, to care to each other, to be on the same side, which is again the question of ethics, like Mar said, trust. So I think these are all some basic elements in humanity. There's some basic inside elements that we just going back, especially today in this very complicated moment when the world is going in this moment in time, where these social contracts are, I would say, most needed, even though I think they are maybe very complicated to achieve according to this very selfish and self-oriented modern civilization that we are in a fast line now. So I also would like, this is just a comment, I also would like to say it's important that we talk about this and to maybe mention all these structures that you were saying. So thank you.
Thank you, Natasha. Violeta, you would like to add? No,
it was very good to see very tangible tool with which you could deliver, and I'm glad that Eleonora shared something that she uses in her day-to-day practice. So I was more wondering, when you leave the company, who does this? I mean, do you find corporate environments that are mature enough that they can pick it up and integrate it as their general practice, this kind of attitude, this kind of leadership style?
Violetta, the social contract is a shared agreement. You do this together with the team. If you as leader leaves the company, the team remains and the social contract remains. It must be renegotiated with the next leader, but it remains. It's the backbone of the organization.
Eleonora, I don't want to be. I want to save some time, but this is really provocative question, because I've seen many corporate environments when you come up with a great, inclusive, collaborative, co-creative ideas, and then they just mellow out if they don't have this kind of culture. I know they can agree on social contract, and I think it's very profound. I hope that this is the direction we're going to go. But what's your experience? I mean, when you come back 5 years later, does this still exist in the company?
My experience, Violetta, is that the social contract must be intentional. You have to intentionally plan this with your team, because it doesn't happen overnight. You have to plan this. It may last 1 year, because you know the 8 dimension. You need 1-2 months for each dimension, so that everybody in the team can train this dimension. For example, I don't know, is speaking with candor, you know. So you come back, you then discuss another point of the social agreement, and it's last time, yeah. So it is an investment of time and energy, but also it is also a competitive advantage. I notice that this is a competitive advantage, and I must tell you, a lot of people, of my clients, at the moment I coach a lot of professors from German university. They are in a completely different atmosphere from the social contract. Yeah, they come to me because they have some problem with lack of gratitude. Can you imagine? There are also people that cannot express verbally their gratitude. People are coming to me because they get ill. Because of that, can you imagine? This is basic, to express gratitude. Yeah. So there is a lot to do, but what I say, and this is, as I told you, this is a big theory of the top tip coach Keith Ferrazzi. He is trying that and monitoring thousands of teams worldwide. There are the numbers. I will make some publicity, not for my book, but from the book of Keith Ferrazzi, Never Lead Alone. In this book, he explained the social contract very, very much. I also wrote about that in my workbook. This is only in German, but it's a great, I think, Violetta, really honestly, the greatest investment that you can do if you have a team. The greatest investment, the social contract. Thank you.